Okay, traders, I'm just going to do a quick little tutorial here on how I construct or create my charts. With moving averages. And, okay, maybe we can do with volume as well. All right, I'm not a very big focuser on volume, although I do look at it at times. All right, so let me go up here. I'm going to grab the chart feature. Right? And I'm going to put a symbol in here. Any symbol will do. Let's put Microsoft. Okay. I will right click here. I will go to interval. I want this to be a 2-minute chart. So there's my interval. Now you'll see that the volume is here. I actually want to move this volume down. It's actually too big for the chart. I like that. Like the volume may be there. Now, I used to trade with black backgrounds like this, but for years I've been trading with white backgrounds when I realized that it was easier on my eyes. I have very sensitive eyes from staring into a screen for many years, all right? So the white background is a little bit easier on my eyes actually, but I used to love my black backgrounds like this. But so I'm going to go into the chart settings here, and I am going to make the background white. There's the background. Here. Boom. Okay. Now I want to let's take a look at the volume up and down colors. I like the volume bars to correspond with the actual price bars. See that? So now for all the green bars that are up, the volume is green. For all the red bars that signify that the market or the stock moved down, the volume is red. That signifies down volume. So there's up volume and down volume now. All right? Okay. Now, I don't like horizontal lines like this on my chart. So we're going to remove the horizontal lines on my chart. How do we do that here? Let's see. I'm going to go back into chart settings here. Let's go back into chart settings because here's where there's a lot of things. I'm going to make the foreground black. Now, you'll see what this does in just a second. Watch the prices on the right-hand side start to appear. Watch this. Boom. There. Now we have prices on the right-hand side because those prices were white, but I changed the background to white, right? So we couldn't see them. So by changing the foreground to black, I can now lead those prices through the white background. Now, these are 3D type bars. And remember, we still have those price separators here, which I don't really like. I don't like the horizontal lines on the chart. And the reason for that is because these horizontal lines on this chart sort of subconsciously give traders the impression that they mean something, and they're not very, very meaningful. There is some significance to round numbers and half numbers, but I believe that those horizontal lines place too much focus on the prices and sort of trick the mind into believing that there's some magical levels of support and resistance, and they really truly aren't in a very big way. So let's get rid of those lines. Let's get rid of those lines now. Right click on the chart, go down to chart settings here. I believe that's the grid color here. It's showing grid lines. So we're going to make that absolutely white and make those grid lines disappear. That's a cleaner chart. That's a cleaner chart. The next thing I want to do is I want to put on 2 key moving averages, maybe 3. Maybe I'll do 3 for you. So we're going to go right click on the chart again. We're going to go to indicator. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to, or not down, I'm going to come over here and select the simple moving average. Now it's going to default to 14. I'm going to make that 20. And I'm going to change the color here to blue. I like my 23 moving average to be blue. There we go. Now that moving average is averaging the last 22-minute bar prices, closing prices. I'm going to bring another moving average onto the chart, right? I'm going to right click again, go to indicator, select simple moving average again, and I'm going to put 200. I'm going to leave that red. I like my 200 red. Now, I'm going to press my arrow keys up, my up arrow keys to put more data on the chart. And there we have a 2-minute chart of Microsoft, white background, red and green bars. Green bars signify upward movement, red bars signify 2-minute periods of downward movement. And I've got volume, colored volume at the bottom, corresponding with the up and down bars. All right, these bars are in 3D, and that's something that some traders like and other traders don't. I'm not a 3D bar trader. So I'm going to go into the settings once again, and we're going to remove the 3D effect from the bars, and I'm going to put a black outlining around the bars. And I'm also going to change the color of the wicks. Notice that the wicks are red right now. So I like my wicks on the opposite ends of the colored bars to be black. And I like the outline of the bars to be black as well. So let's get all of that accomplished now. So I am going to right click on the chart once again. I'm going to go down to chart settings. Boom. And you're going to see here wick color. Now the wick color is set to red. We're going to put that to black. Let me show you what happens. Boom. So now the wick colors are black. I want the bar itself to be outlined, the color portion of the bars to be outlined in black as well. So let's do that now. Right click, go to chart settings again. We're going to do candle up outline. We're going to put that to black, and we want the candle down outline to black as well. Boom. And this puts a black outline around each bar that, in my opinion, gives the bar more definition and more clarity. I like that. Now, the bars are still 3D in nature. You might like that 3D effect, but I don't. So I'm going to remove the 3D effect of the bars. I'm going to right click on the chart again. I'm going to go down to show 3D candle. We're going to remove that. Boom. And now we're looking at the chart as I like to see it. I can toggle for more data on the chart. Some people like to look at the charts like that. Some people like to look at their charts like this. I, for one, have a very basic guideline. So let me walk you through that. Let's say, for instance, that your window is going to be this size. This is not enough data. I want you to shrink that data spaces, shrink the spaces between the bars until it's just very slight. Now that's enough data. You need to see separation, traders, between the bars. If you can't see separation, you've gone too far. You see? You've gone too far here. You can't trade this way. There's no detail. You've lost the detail. All right, now we're going to open this up just enough to see. This is cool. I can see spaces between each one of the bars. This is cool. Maybe even open up just a little bit more. Boom, that's perfect for me. And that's how I know. It doesn't matter how small or large you're going to have your chart. All right? You want to be able to see detail and space between the bars. Now, you see this information at the top? I don't need two Microsofts here. I don't need two 2-minute designations here. This information is just taking up room away from the actual data that I use to trade from. So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to right click again, and I'm going to go to settings here at the bottom and take the settings off. Boom! That gives me more room for my chart. So that's how I set my charts up. Now I told you I might do 3 moving averages. My 2 main moving averages are the 20-period moving average and the 200-period moving average, which we have. Now we also use the 8-period moving average. I don't specifically like to have 3 moving averages on my charts. I usually like to have 2, but if some of my traders do opt to have all 3 moving averages on the chart. So if you look at something like what moved very nicely today, PayPal moved very nicely at some point. If you look at PayPal's late day movement, look at how it's tracking the 8-period moving average. You see that? Beautiful, beautiful, tracking the 8. That's why we use the 8, because it's a great tracker when a stock starts getting hot to the upside or downside. And the 20 is way over here. See? So for this reason, some of my traders like to have all 3. Sometimes the 20-period moving average is the dominant moving average in the trend. Sometimes when the trend gets really super hot, it's really more the 8-period moving average that is more relevant than the 20, as you can see in the late day run up in PayPal here. And these are the 3 moving averages we use on charts. And this is how I set up each one of my charts. And as you can see on my whole screen here, guys, that I have charts of different sizes. I have them embedded. So in this window, as an example, I have PayPal here. I can click this button and go to Microsoft. I can look at Apple. I can look at JD here. I can look at JPM. So I have many of my windows stacked because, as most of you know, I trade from a laptop computer. So instead of having a big giant screen with all of them having their own individual space, I stack them and I'm able to quickly take a look like that. I have the bottoms stacked as well, 1 or 2 stacked. And even here, I have my market maker window and I have several charts here stacked inside of the same window. And I can quickly take a quick view of my popular stocks that I trade, and it's just almost like trading with a big monitor. It's just that my windows are stacked on top of each other instead of having their own individual space. And there you have it, guys. That's my chart setup tutorial. I hope that helps you. It doesn't matter what platform you're trading on, these settings are universal, right? Removing the grid lines, putting moving averages on it, structuring your bars the way you like to see them, putting volume on it, and there you go. Now set up your charts the same, and let's try to start trading the same way. All right, guys. Until next time, trade well, and I will see you in the next video. Boom!